Have you ever felt like every time you scroll through social media, everyone else's life seems so much better, more successful, happier, just overall more? Do you ever find yourself feeling like you're not enough or not achieving as much when you compare yourself to others? I went through a phase where I constantly compared myself to everyone, coworkers, close friends, even people I barely knew on social media. It made me feel like I wasn't good enough, even though I was doing my best. That feeling weighed me down and took a lot of joy out of my life. Comparison doesn't just make us feel insecure, it drains our energy and distracts us from our own goals. We start doubting what we're doing because we're too busy watching what everyone else is up to. So today I want to talk about how we can stop comparing ourselves to others. The comparison doesn't just steal our happiness, it also blinds us to our own worth and unique path. Just imagine how much better life would be if we could let go of comparing ourselves to others. If we could fully see our own value and confidently walk our own path, without the pressure of keeping up with everyone else. Part 1. Understanding why we compare ourselves. Comparing ourselves to others is a natural human behavior that stems from our survival instincts as social creatures. Back in prehistoric times, humans had to assess their own skills and social standing to survive, like how well we could hunt or make tools compared to others in the tribe. This mechanism in our brain helped us decide if what we were doing was good enough and pushed us to improve ourselves. While this instinct was useful in the past, it's become a double-edged sword in today's fast-paced world. Social media plays a huge role in intensifying this tendency to compare. Every time we scroll through Instagram or Facebook, we're bombarded with images of other people's seemingly perfect lives, whether it's their travels, career success, or even small things like their organized workout routines. These pictures create pressure and make us start questioning, why isn't my life like that? This is one way that social pressure drives us to compare ourselves to others. Besides external factors, there are internal triggers too. For example, insecurity or self-doubt often makes us feel the need to measure our worth. Comparing ourselves to others can seem like a way to figure out where we stand in society or how valuable we are. It gives us a temporary boost if we feel like we're doing better than others. But if we feel we fall short, it drags us down and makes us feel like failures. Comparison is also a key part of a psychological concept called social comparison theory, developed by psychologist Leon Festinger in 1954. This theory explains that humans are naturally driven to evaluate themselves, and one way we do that is by comparing ourselves to others in terms of abilities, social standing, or achievements. However, Festinger also pointed out that this comparison can backfire, leaving us feeling insecure or undervalued if we don't measure up to the people we're comparing ourselves to. There's also an interesting cultural dimension to comparison. In societies that place a high value on competition and success, comparison becomes even more common, adding extra pressure. For example, in cultures where education or career success is highly emphasized, people are often driven to compare themselves to those who are more successful, using them as a benchmark to measure their own worth. This can fuel competition, but it also leads to envy and dissatisfaction with ourselves. In today's digital age, we have access to more information about other people than ever before, making it easier to compare. We see glimpses of other people's lives daily, but often, what we see is just the highlight reel, the best, most curated moments. Still, we tend to assume it's their whole reality, which makes us feel like our lives aren't enough, or that we're falling behind. Once we understand why we tend to compare ourselves to others, it becomes clear that this is a natural mechanism and there's nothing inherently wrong with it. But we have the power to decide how to handle these feelings. Are we going to let comparison undermine our confidence and happiness? Or can we shift our perspective and develop a healthier mindset that helps us focus on our own growth instead? Part 2. The negative impacts of constant comparisons. It's normal to compare ourselves to others from time to time, and sometimes it can push us to improve. But constantly comparing ourselves to others can really mess with our mental health and overall happiness. These negative effects slowly build up, chipping away at our confidence and joy in ways we might not even notice at first. 1. Loss of self-confidence. One of the biggest downsides of constantly comparing yourself to others is losing confidence in yourself. When we look at other people's lives and compare them to our own, we often feel like we're not good enough or that we can't achieve what they have. Over time, this feeling builds up, making us question our worth and hesitate to pursue our own goals because we fear we'll never measure up. In today's digital age, with social media being such a big part of our lives, we're always seeing these perfectly curated snapshots of others' lives through posts, photos, and stories. What we forget is that these are often just the best moments they choose to show. But we end up comparing our entire lives to these idealized images. This leads to a cycle of feeling like we're not good enough and drains our self-confidence. 2. Eroding your happiness. Constant comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose happiness. When we're always looking at other people's success or happiness, we stop appreciating what we have in our own lives. Instead of feeling content or happy with our own journey, we start feeling envious and dissatisfied with what we've achieved. For example, if a coworker gets promoted or a friend starts a successful business, you might feel like your life is stuck or not moving forward, even if you're doing just fine. The comparison makes us overlook the good things in our own lives and takes away the joy we should be experiencing. 3. Increased stress and pressure. Comparing yourself to others all the time adds pressure to keep up or be better than others. This pressure leads to stress because no matter how hard we try, it can feel like we'll never meet the standard we've set based on these comparisons. This stress shows up in many ways, like feeling burned out at work, never being satisfied with what we've accomplished, or feeling like we constantly need to prove something to others. It takes a toll on both our mental and physical health, preventing us from truly enjoying life as it is. 4. Insecurity and depression. Comparing yourself to others over and over can leave you feeling insecure, and in some cases, it may even lead to depression. When you feel like you can't measure up or aren't as valuable as others, it chips away at your self-esteem and can make life seem hopeless. Living with constant insecurity can trap you in a cycle of harsh self-criticism. You start believing you're failing at everything and can't succeed in anything you do. Over time, this stress and insecurity can snowball into depression if it's not addressed properly. 5. Losing focus on your own goals. Another major downside of constantly comparing yourself to others is losing focus on your own path. When you're too busy watching what others are doing or achieving, you stop paying attention to what matters in your own life. Comparison pulls you away from your own goals and dreams, making you feel like the path others are taking is somehow better. You may start trying to mold your life to match theirs instead of following your own desires. This makes it hard to live authentically and can disconnect you from your true purpose. When we become aware of the negative impacts of constantly comparing ourselves to others, it's clear that comparison doesn't just steal our confidence and happiness, it also stops us from growing in ways that truly matter to us. That's why learning how to manage comparison and focus on personal growth is key to finding real happiness and building self-confidence in our lives. Part 3. Practical strategies to stop comparing yourself. It's so easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, especially in today's digital world where we're constantly surrounded by seemingly perfect images and stories of other people's lives. While some comparisons might motivate us to improve, too much of it can leave us feeling inadequate and drain our confidence. If you want to break free from this habit, it takes a shift in mindset and some practical strategies to apply in your everyday life. 1. Acknowledge the problem and accept that no one is perfect. The first step to stop comparing yourself to others is to recognize when you're doing it and understand that these comparisons aren't helping your happiness or self-esteem. Start paying attention to moments when you compare yourself, like when you're scrolling through social media and feel envious or less than someone else. The people we compare ourselves to might seem perfect from the outside, but in reality, no one is perfect. Everyone has challenges and struggles that we don't see. Accepting this helps us let go of unrealistic expectations. 2. Shift from comparison to appreciation. Instead of looking at other people's lives with envy or dissatisfaction, Try shifting your perspective to one of appreciation. Celebrate other people's successes or positive qualities without feeling like it takes away from your own. This change in mindset will make you feel more positive and less like you're in constant competition. Plus, it opens up opportunities for you to learn and grow from others' successes rather than feeling like you're falling behind. When you practice appreciating others, you'll find that you're more focused on the positives and less caught up in the endless cycle of comparison. 3. Focus on your own journey. Comparison happens when we're looking at other people's lives instead of focusing on our own. That's why it's essential to keep your attention on your own goals and path. Ask yourself, what do I want in life? And what are my true goals? When you're clear on what you want, you'll naturally start focusing on your own progress rather than comparing your success to others. Staying focused on your personal goals also builds a sense of accomplishment. No matter how big or small the steps you take, the key is that you're following your own path and doing what matters to you, not what society or anyone else says should matter. 4. Manage your social media use. Social media is one of the main reasons we fall into the comparison trap, because it gives us access to other people's lives every day. But we have to remember that what we see online is often just the highlight reel of someone's life. Most people only show their best side, and we forget that this isn't the whole picture. You can manage this by reducing your time on social media or prioritizing content that inspires you rather than makes you feel like you're falling behind. You might even consider unfollowing people or pages that trigger feelings of comparison and instead focus on content that boosts your confidence. 5. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool to stop comparing yourself to others. When you take time to be thankful for what you have, you begin to appreciate your own life more and stop focusing on what others have. Writing down a few things you're grateful for each day can help you see the good in your life, no matter how small they might seem. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus to what's already present in your life, instead of what's missing. Feeling grateful for what you have helps reduce jealousy or dissatisfaction when you see someone else's success. 6. Set your own standards. What makes comparison so harmful is that we often use someone else's standards to measure our own worth. But the truth is, everyone has their own path and their own standards. Setting your own standards and sticking to what's important to you can help you stop comparing yourself to others. Ask yourself, what do I value, and what does success truly mean to me? When you create clear, personal standards that work for you, you'll stop feeling like you need to compete with others, and you'll realize that your success and happiness don't have to look like anyone else's. 7. Focus on personal growth. Instead of comparing yourself to others, try comparing yourself to who you were in the past. Regularly reflect on your progress and growth. This helps you see how far you've come and keeps you motivated to continue growing. Focusing on personal development and self-improvement is an effective way to break free from comparison, because it shifts the focus to what you can control your own journey. You'll see that your progress doesn't depend on others, but on your own goals and efforts. Breaking the habit of comparing yourself to others isn't easy, but with the right strategies, you can start to let go and focus more on your own personal growth. Being mindful of your behavior, shifting your mindset, and setting your own standards will help you live a more confident and fulfilling life. Part 4. Turning comparisons into inspiration. Comparing yourself to others can feel almost unavoidable, especially in today's world. But instead of letting it chip away at your confidence and make you feel bad about yourself, you can flip the script and use it as inspiration to push yourself to grow and improve. By transforming comparison into something positive, you can step out of the cycle of self-criticism and become the best version of yourself. 1. Shift from comparison to learning. Comparing yourself to others doesn't always have to be negative. Instead of thinking, why am I not as good as them? Try asking, what can I learn from their success? This mindset shift can turn comparison into an opportunity for growth. When you focus on what others are doing well and use it as a lesson to improve yourself, you'll find inspiration instead of envy. For example, if you see a friend who's great at managing their time, instead of feeling jealous, ask yourself, how can I use their methods to improve my own life? By seeing comparison as a way to learn, you open yourself up to personal growth rather than feeling stuck in self-doubt. 2. See others as inspiration, not competition. rather than comparing yourself to others in a way that makes you feel less than. Look at them as sources of inspiration. Successful people, or those with qualities you admire, have likely faced their own challenges too. Finding inspiration in others' journeys can motivate you to improve your own. When you come across someone you admire, ask yourself, what have they done to achieve this? And how can I use their journey as inspiration for my own path? This approach allows you to see others in a positive light, realizing that growth is possible for everyone. Stop everyone. 3. Set goals that matter to you. We often fall into comparison traps because we forget to set clear and meaningful goals for ourselves. When you create goals that align with your own values and desires, you won't feel the need to measure your success against others. Having a clear sense of what you want allows you to focus on your own journey, rather than being distracted by someone else's achievements. By setting goals that reflect what you truly want, you focus on personal development rather than trying to meet someone else's standards. Your progress becomes about your own path, not anyone else's. 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Instead of comparing yourself to people with totally different experiences and paths, try comparing yourself to your past self. This is a much healthier way to assess your growth. When you look back and see how far you've come, it builds confidence and motivation to keep going. Comparing yourself to your past self helps you recognize your progress, which is way more meaningful than comparing yourself to others. Taking time to reflect on your personal achievements creates inspiration to push forward toward new goals without letting others' successes make you feel small. 5. Share your inspiration and build a supportive network. Another great way to turn comparison into inspiration is to share your wins and inspiration with those around you. Instead of holding on to envy or frustration, openly celebrating each other's successes builds a positive environment for growth. Surrounding yourself with people who have similar goals and motivations helps you see that you're not in competition with anyone. You can learn and grow together. Having a supportive network not only encourages you to keep developing, but it also helps you see that while everyone's paths may differ, we can always inspire and uplift one another. 6. Embrace gratitude and contentment. Finally, turning comparison into inspiration isn't just about looking for success in others. It's also about practicing contentment with what you already have. When you cultivate gratitude for where you are and what you've achieved, it becomes easier to look at others' success without feeling threatened or envious. Gratitude helps you shift your perspective from what's missing to what's already present in your life. This shift allows you to appreciate others' success as something inspirational rather than something that diminishes your worth. Transforming comparisons into inspiration is all about adjusting your perspective and setting clear goals for yourself. Instead of seeing others as competition or benchmarks you must meet, view them as examples of what's possible. Practicing this more positive, constructive form of comparison will help you grow and thrive while also embracing and celebrating others' successes along the way. Conclusion: call to action. When we think about comparing ourselves to others, whether it makes us feel insecure or drives our ambition, it's something we all do, often without even realizing it. But letting those comparisons take over can chip away at our confidence, ruin our happiness, and distract us from our own true path. However, if we learn to turn comparison into inspiration, it can become a tool for growth and help us move forward with confidence and strength. In this piece, we've looked at why we tend to compare ourselves to others, the dangers of constant comparison, and strategies to help us stop this harmful behavior. We've also explored how to transform comparison into motivation, focusing on personal growth, setting meaningful goals for ourselves, and celebrating others' success in a healthy, constructive way. Call to action: start today. The most important thing after realizing how comparison affects us and understanding how to overcome it is to take action. Begin by noticing every time you compare yourself to someone else and ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of letting it make you feel small, change your perspective and use that comparison as a push to improve yourself. Another great practice is to focus on the good things in your life and keep a gratitude journal. Writing down what you're thankful for each day helps build contentment and makes it easier to see the value in your own life, reducing the need to compare yourself to others. Lastly, set goals that are meaningful to you, not what others expect of you. When you're clear about what you truly want in life, comparing yourself to others becomes unnecessary because you'll be focused on your own unique path, full of purpose and meaning. Change won't happen overnight, but remember that growth is a process and it takes time. Be patient with yourself and give yourself the space to grow step by step. Today is the day you can start changing how you see yourself. Stop the comparisons that erode your confidence and turn them into inspiration to grow. Remember, you have the ability to develop yourself in ways that truly matter to you without chasing someone else's standards. Start with small actions to create positive changes in your life, and soon you'll notice a real difference in your happiness and self-confidence. If you're ready to take control of your journey, stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own growth. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content on personal development, mindset shifts, and building the life you truly want. Let's grow together.